Hi, Aquarius. All right, welcome to this place. Hold on a second. Sorry. Get a little more sunshine up in there. Welcome. Yeah, welcome. And if you're new, and welcome back if you're returning. Okay, so the reason why I felt I gotta jump up in here is I was choosing your cards and you received the star as your first card, and I was like, well, how suiting. It definitely is Aquarius reading. And then it took a while. I was like shuffling and shuffling, and I was kind of sitting with this card because this star card has a very interesting feeling around it. It's almost like an uncertainty to what could be. And star is about blessings, right? And healing and achieving your goals and having those be spiritually aligned with your purpose, you know, your different purposes. And so I was like, it didn't have a bad feeling around it. It was kind of like, where's this gonna go, right? And where it went was the star again. And this star's energy is much different. This is where a person now is feeling more aligned with something. They understand the purpose behind it. They understand the connection of it, and they feel more connected, I think, to their purpose. So, and I keep hearing this, purposeS, actually, you know, because, you know, we say that, like, what is my purpose in life? I guess there are purposes. So again, someone's feeling more connected to their purpose. Beautiful. If we happen to be repetitive in this time, redundant, if it seems so, in Gemini time, I always the messages tend to repeat twice, so excuse that. All right, we have Seven of Pentacles, Death card. Okay, yeah, I think it's the end of, that was something too, is like something isn't bothering or affecting a person as it was before. No, Nine of Cups, awesome. I hope you don't mind if someone's really impatient. I suppose they could make a timestamp when all the cards are there, but it's all messages throughout. So yeah, someone's believing in what could be possible now in a different way. Maybe there was just a lull of energy. If you happen to have strong Pluto placement or Scorpio energy, that reading could also be of service. That's one of your squares in your major lessons. Oh yeah, good. Yes, yes, yes. It's like a yucky feeling, a dense feeling is, because you control the mind, right? That's one of your talents, is to have very strong mental control, right? And it's hard when, for instance, the mind does things that we don't want it to, when there's a, you know, and especially if you're very Aquarian, it's like Uranian or otherwise, it's like Saturnian, you know, you're like, all right, I generally have this all in order. And when maybe there was a time or prior to this where it kind of felt like I can't think about this the way I want to think about it, or I don't have time to think about this, or but that seemingly is over now. That's the point. It's like maybe there was like a mental block on something, and now it's more open. We just need two more cards. Just a second. I just learned an astrological remedy. Maybe this will help somebody natally or transitorily, but fennel seed is really good for Rahu. Particularly helpful if you're a smoker or if you're feeling like really foggy. You can also make a tea of it. Just like I usually crush my fennel seeds in my mortar and pestle a little just to open them up. You can also soak them first, but I'll do that and then just boil it with water, and you can strain it out and also like put it in your bath. And you can, or when you're soaking your feet, however you want to do it. But it soothes, it eases that energy. Two of Cups on the bottom. Beautiful, Aquarius. All right, we have more cards than we thought, but that's okay. Okay, we'll leave these over there for extra. Speaking of, It's so refreshing. I made it cold. I like licorice personally. All right, so Aquarius, black licorice versus red, if I had a preference. Have you ever made a list of all the things that are really particular to you like that? You know, when it comes to this, yeah, we'll leave it like that. I guess that's the question. Or maybe you want to make one. You know, like maybe some things have changed. I heard what's possible. All right, let me tune in a second. Okay, double star card, holy smokes. So that's a big deal. Again, I guess we went over that. There was a little confusion. It was kind of because something was feeding into the background, or it's as if a person realized, right, what comes before the star is the tower. So some kind of bigger shakeup, or it's something felt unsteady. You know what I mean? Even if things didn't crumble ultimately, it's like something felt really unsteady. And then again, usually I find the insecure feeling, because security is an emotional security. That's where it comes from. The physical world can help it, right? When a person says they're going to do something, they do it. That trust helps. But the real security is an internal place. And that's tricky sometimes, because when, again, the mind is doing things we don't want, we feel as if, you know, because what comes after this is the moon, which is kind of like a person's aware that they're going to get what they want, in a sense. But it's a test of trust, because in some essences, we don't know how, because the moon comes next, like how exactly it's all going to play out. And there are some things that we just cannot know. It's like almost impossible for us to actually factually like plan out every single detail. But this is where the star is connected to faith, right? And having faith, again, in the purpose of who you are as a person, or what you're supposed to be doing, meaning even in the smallest ways of just day to day, right? Because I'm sure if you have some bigger plans, they're already set out there. If you haven't done that recently, you know, if for instance you went through something that was kind of shaky and now you're out of it, this may be a good time to start putting some energy into what you want to grow, what you want to expand on. You know, it's okay to do that. You know, this could just be connections with other people. You know, like I really want to put some love into this relationship. I want to learn about this, you know. This is also someone having, a person having faith in somebody else also. Because that could have been it, where somebody was like, I don't know if I believe in myself, but somebody else believed in them. It's like, and I feel like somebody was praying for somebody. Or praying for something. And that light is really felt. You see this, how it's like, this light here is like, okay, I'm going to put this out. I mean, it's connecting to it, but I'm feeling it as an out energy. It's like, I want to put this out into the universe. I want to pray for this person's healing. I want to pray for whatever good energy you want to send into something, again, because a person feels settled in themselves where they are presently. Then what happens is that actually goes and it does connect to other people. And you see, it's kind of hard to see in this light, but there's this light coming out of his hand now, right? That light that someone has sent is now a part of a person. And I think a person's practicing now a different way, practicing something a different way. Someone's becoming more zen and comfortable. I really feel like something was uncomfortable. some way or another. I don't know how this was exactly for you, but it's like, it feels better now. I'm really happy for you. I heard maybe you want to let people know that. You know, say you haven't seen somebody for a while and it's just like, you know, you catch up and you don't have to dwell on the thing that was happening ultimately, but you could let them know, like, hey, that's why I've been a little distant. If there was distance, it could just be like someone could explain themselves if they want to. So either way, what we're talking about is an understanding. Okay, then we move into this like horned animal. So this shows me, what is this? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-point buck. That's a big boy. 12-point buck, that's a big boy. So maybe someone's a hunter or you knew a hunter. The deer could also, the deer or something that's sort of horned like that. Pardon me. Could be an animal that could help you through finding your center. Some of you could also be like, if you've been trying to, Taurus, your other square was talking about like sort of trying to forcefully meditate on something, but it was almost like, I don't know where to focus. I feel like you're finding, again, more of your focus, your purpose. But this card's reminding me of like, it's showing me like if you practice meditation or yoga or something, even, it doesn't have to be like technicality. It's just kind of being in your own body. Do you know what I mean? And giving yourself that space and time to be quiet. Or this is someone in your life that likes this kind of thing, and maybe even if you're not interested in it, it's interesting to somebody else. You know, I heard someone say, how are you so calm? And it's like, oh, well, this is part of my practice every day. You know, this is part of my life every day. Or at least it's something that's like regular, or someone's been practicing and it's like, oh, interesting. I heard, I'd like to try that. Maybe some of you will find some kind of video or like teacher or class that could be helpful. I almost feel like this is somebody who's just because I feel like Aquarius likes to learn by jumping in, learning it, and then you try it yourself, right? It's like, I want to figure it out. Okay, I got the basics. Let me figure it out for myself. And I see that you do. So if there's anything you're working on new or trying to learn about that seemingly is like becoming easier for you, good. Good. Okay, then we move into the Nine of Cups, which is, again, more of this like light energy. And this is actually looking up. It's like jumping up at this. So a person now is that feeling of goodness, that feeling of like gratitude is very strong right now. It's like a person understands something they couldn't understand before. Maybe the reasoning behind something. Yeah, it's like, so someone finished a book, or like, this is the mind. Again, it's like, what's that one about? Nine of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, the mind, I think, was doing something tricky and it's not doing it anymore. So your reading will actually be, I guess, the progression of Scorpio, right? Because I guess you're ahead of them, technically. You're the next fixed sign. Thank you for your guidance. Okay, what's going on now? What's that one about? Page of Cups in reverse. So this is about a child? I think someone cleared through some karma. It's interesting karma though. It's like, again, I sense that the world hasn't changed. So this external place, ultimately, like in a way, in such a way where a person was like, let me back up. So our sixth house is some of our biggest karma, and it's our battlefield, right? It's the house of health. It's the house of, again, it's the battlefield. It's our service that we are meant to put forth into, like how we're, one of the houses that show us how we're supposed to be of service, or how we like to be of service. Hi, Crow. In this life. But it's also kind of like the day-to-day grind. So it may be that kind of, maybe something isn't grinding anymore. You know what I mean? Usually grinding, like we were talking about that mortar and pestle, it's like you really got to get in there. There's no lubrication with it, right? It's just, it's kind of rough. I feel like something's smoother now. There's like, it's, and I just saw someone with like cracked heels. I thought it was a big bird, but it was a plane. Who do you go to when you get stuck in your head, and like, even though you're in a good space, again, you got your purpose, you get your things in order, but you know, there's these like lulls. Don't forget to take a day off a week. I feel like it's good for you to go do something by yourself. I feel like this is generally not an advice that Aquarius needs, but like that's really helpful. Like where I heard where there's nobody else, you know, like go for a walk, like go down to find some cool path or forest or water or wherever you want to walk. I mean, sure, you can walk through the city with your headphones on. It's like be in your own bubble. I guess even if you're around people, that's what you need, because it's different when we want that, when we're that's what we desire. Like, yeah, I want this myself to be alone, versus like I feel alone even when I'm surrounded by everybody else. Do you know what I mean? I guess there could also be a water sign of the past, so Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, that also you've completed some kind of karma with. This could also, again, been your child, or this is inner child things. Okay, moving along. Well, I guess a person can sort of lose sight now and again. If we took this just as this month, Aquarius, the very, very beginning of this month, again, has a teeter. And it's like all of a sudden something switches, but it's the same thing. It's not like, again, it's all mental. It's all mental. And then we move along and it's like, all right, I'm steady, I'm pretty zen, I'm feeling awesome. Then we get into the middle third. It's like I'm feeling awesome. There's a lot of clarity. And then all of a sudden it's kind of like one of those questions where you're like, well, what's going to happen? I don't know. This is a lot. Like, I don't have a lot of, the mind isn't necessarily like, but it's only for like a day. This is where you want to work 6 days a week, fine, but you need at least one day to go be like, go do your own thing. That'll really help it. Because then what happens is the feeling that was the mindset that was making the feelings like kind of flop around, all of a sudden it's like someone pulls the plug. So maybe a bath would be helpful too, but either way, we're going in water, but someone pulled the plug and it's like that all goes down and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, back to the yeah. So this doesn't seem like such a duality where this feels bipolar or something or manic. It's not this extreme. It's just, I guess it's an awareness like, okay, Scorpio talked about this, like who can throw strikes like every time. It's kind of impossible, right? We all have those days where like, man, I can't focus. Like I feel good. And so your friend Libra, you have a friend Libra, right? But Libra talked about, you know, when you're inspired to do something, do it. If you can, if you're not that inspired to do something, try to see what else you can do. You know, even if this was at work, it's like, if it wasn't, I don't know if you consider your job fun or not. I mean, even dream jobs have its stresses. But like, if you can, if something isn't inspiring, you're getting the same message where it's like, try to do the thing that is inspiring to you. And maybe it just may be like, I'm seeing that Pomodoro where it's like, okay, I'm going to just take 25 minutes, take a break. Maybe it's take a break and do nothing. And then when you come back to it, you may be like, oh, I am inspired to do this now. I just needed some fresh air. You know, something like that. I feel better about this. I just needed, again, a little fresh air, just a little bit of moving. Right when we move the body around, Scorpio was talking about this, then the mind stays more clear. Okay. So there's something really awesome with work, too. Or like, because the Seven of Pentacles turns into the 8. So we have progression in the earth world. This is something that comes through your own efforts and a person's, this is where it goes to show that whatever a person's doing, again, the purposes that they have, they're doing them for the right reason, because Seven of Pentacles sometimes is like, well, should I give up? Like, should I just stop doing this, stop caring, stop putting time into this? Again, fuck it energy. But this is where it's like, no, I'm gonna, you know, I don't need to trash this. I'm gonna sit with this a little bit longer, but maybe I'm gonna give this a little bit different of energy. I can't expect this to grow without me putting my love into it, right? My patience into it. I heard my mercy. And that actually is very beneficial because it makes a person feel better about what they're creating in their world and what they're surrounded with. Also, what they're kind of able to do. And one of your biggest magical tricks, if you will, is like, again, it's all the air realm, right? It's like the way the mind works, or how we communicate, how we feel, or what we want, or etc., you know? I guess this is communication overall. Excuse me. Okay. Athena, Pallas Athena. Something about the owl, too. So someone's watching you, Aquarius. Someone observes you. So someone's inspired by you, and then you're inspired by somebody else. Or like what you have in your world is actually what somebody else wants. Or they are desiring it. They're like, I want to be like that person. You know, like they work so hard. They're so lighthearted. Like, I like the way they work through things. It's not to say people aren't serious here too. That's kind of a part of it. It's like I heard responsibly happy. They're responsibly happy. When the moon is in Aries, that's a little tricky for you. Oh no, when your moon's in your 5th house. So this is inner child stuff. This is like children kinds of things. How do I explain that? What's this moon about? Queen of Swords. Well, I guess feelings could be surprising. Oh, there's a full moon the end of the month. I see. There we go. Took me a second. There's a full moon the end of the month. That's going to be next to you, right? It's in Capricorn. So it's on one side of you. Don't let the moon... Sometimes the moon is tricky with somebody. Like, how do the Muslims determine the first day of the month? Is it when they see the crescent moon? So when you see a crescent moon, that's the beginning of something. Someone's a really amazing worker here. What are you doing for work right now? Like, what have you been working on or putting your time into? I also see meditating on 6 of Swords that you have. So you have 6 of Swords twice and the Star twice. Beautiful. So, and I saw earlier the Sun in the 6th house, which is awesome because that's the king and this is the house of the battlefield. So even if there was a battle, someone already has a plan for it. It's not a big deal. And actually, Sun is very positive and confident. So like no matter what needs to be done day to day, a person actually has more energy for it. That just may be it. But I will say, watch it. If, again, we can't throw strikes every single day, all day. So if you have an off day, I heard, don't give yourself too hard of a time. Or like if the day didn't work out, you know, be like, how's your day? And be like, I didn't really get done what I wanted to get done. Or, you know, the energy wasn't quite like flowing towards you or through you. It's like you had to go around it, or it's okay. I heard again, don't give yourself such a hard time. Okay. It's also a really powerful, I see a really powerful male here, like Mars energy. This is kind of Mars in the 1st house, so this could also be a person feeling stronger now. It not only in vitality, but also just, it could be like physically, like feeling stronger. Maybe it's just getting outside and again, doing some more things, moving your body. But even this yoga position, that's a lot of strength, right? Moving slowly also takes strength. And so I heard if the mind goes to a place you don't want it to go to, and it can't shift and you can't seem to, try to sit with it just a little bit. Who are your top 2, like, friends? Homegirls, homeboys? Who are they? Oh, most of these cards are really solo, so what are you doing for socialization also? Okay. I'm going to say that's that. I don't want to go too long on this. I heard you just have to complete a fear about what could be. Interesting. And then you move into the Nine of Pentacles, which is, it's really cozy. It's like a person doesn't have to work too hard for something. It's like things are already in their places, right? Some of you have a hard moon sign. So like maybe you have an Aquarius or a Capricorn moon, or the Saturn's aspecting it. Maybe you want to do a little research on your moon. Maybe just watch your moon sign, especially if you're a woman. But like in general, that's a very helpful, right? Empress. Yeah, it's the lunar part of ourselves, right? We need to know that because it's what's going on inside. It's the darkness, right? And this solar world is, you know, it's just finding that balance. Empress. Alright, we're going to leave that there, Aquarius. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for being a part of this place, this space and time. Yeah. Good reading. Double star, my goodness. Love it. Alright, I'll talk to you next time. Peace out.